Hi guys, I'm Jada.
I'm Abby.
And this is our first YouTube video, so we don't really know what we're doing, but it should be funny. What are we doing today, Abby?
Today, we're going to be, we wrote each other short fan fictions. So we're going to be reading each other's work, but we're also going to be going on like Tumblr, Wattpad, whatever, and we're going to be reading random fan fictions that we find on there. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. If you do, like, subscribe, follow our TikTok, same username. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so this story is called Dream Come True. Zombies reference. And this is Malachi Barton x Jada. It was a sunny day in central London, and Jada and Abby were hanging out, drinking Sweet Scoops milkshakes. Jada's eyes veered off to the distance as she noticed a figure, but not just any figure. It was the Malachi Barton. Abby, what the fuck? No, Abby, that's fucking Malachi. Jada whispers Jada whisper shrieked, hitting Abby on her arm.
Yeah, I do that a lot, actually. I do that a lot.
Abby looked to where Jada was looking and saw him. Oh my god, it's actually him now, bro. Jada's whole body began trembling like a leaf as Malachi saw the commotion and made eye contact with her. It felt as if time had frozen and they were the only two people to exist. Jada, he's coming over, what the fuck? Abby shook her shoulder. Tears surfaced in Jada's eyes as Malachi Barton approached them. No, Abby, what the fuck? I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking die. Jada stated, her voice breaking. That's my favourite, Malachi says, pointing to the milkshake still clutched in Jada's hand.
That's my favorite! That's my favorite!
I love you so much! Jada shouted in Malachi's face. What the fuck? Malachi laughed and asked if she wanted a picture with him. They proceeded to take a selfie with Abby, and Malachi hugged Jada and goodbye and left. No, Abby, what the fuck just happened? Jada asked, now sobbing. Okay, time skip to the next morning. Bro, I can't believe I lost my coursework, bro. Jada complained with a sigh. That's actually crazy because that's the second piece of coursework that's gone missing as well, Abby replied.
True story.
This is actually a real life scenario. They made their way to a practice room and Jada thought she was hallucinating, but there stood Malachi Barton at the end of the hall.
What the fuck?
Basically, context, he's a student at the school, like he just joined.
Oh.
That's why it was in London, so randomly.
Okay.
Jada grabbed Abby and pulled her backwards and back around the corner. Abby, why the fuck is Malachi here? She asked. Malachi turned the corner and bumped into Jada, sending her stumbling. He quickly reached out and grabbed her shoulders, keeping her upright. I am so sorry, he said with wide eyes. Oh wait, I met you guys yesterday, he said with a friendly smile. Why are you putting your head on the table? It's not real. Jada's eyes were glued to his, and the sensation of his hands on her shoulders lingered. I'll see you later, he smirked, walking away. Jada and Abby were walking down the music corridor, thinking about what had happened less than 10 minutes ago. Jada, a voice called from behind them. They both turned to see Mr. standing in the doorway of A222. Could you come here a second, he said. Jada walked into the classroom and Mr. closed the door. So Jada, I found your coursework on your computer, but I also found some other stuff while I was looking, Mr. said, walking over to Jada's computer to load a Word document. Jada, what is this? He asked, pulling up a fanfic of Malachi Barton full of pictures of him.
Fuck off, I'm joking.
Jada blinked, and the corners of her lips curved into a smile as she tried not to laugh at the ridiculous situation. Oh, it's just like fan stuff for my mood board. Mr. nodded with a shake of his head. Don't do this on your school account. What did she do? A way too familiar voice appeared behind her.
2,000 years later.
It's okay. It's not real, Jada. Okay. She turned to see Malachi standing there.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
So what exactly is this? He used to ask, walking over to the computer.
Well, he's reading it.
He hasn't actually read it yet, he's just walking over to look at it. She covered her face with her hands as she spoke. Oh my god, this is actually insane.
I would just turn it off.
Abby, who had slipped into the room behind Malachi, let her jaw drop at the situation. Mr.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Silence. Jada turned slowly to Malachi, heart pounding like it was actually trying to beat out of her chest. I'm actually gonna die. This is so embarrassing. Malachi stepped forward, clearly enjoying how flustered she was. I kind of want to see how the story goes.
No.
Jada's jaw
No.
dropped. Oh my god. And
Just turn it off, Jada. What the fuck are you
Jada
doing?
walked over to the computer and unplugged it.
Yes.
She groaned, covering her face with her hands. I want to die, she mumbled to herself. Maybe you can make it up to me, Malachi suggested. Jada peeked through her fingers. What? He shrugged. Grab a milkshake with me later. My treat. Maybe you could read me the story.
No.
He winked. Jada blinked. Are you joking? He smiled. I'll pick you up at 4. Abby was smiling in the background. Jada just nodded, still frozen in belief. As Malachi left the room, he called over his shoulder. Also, that picture we took yesterday, it's my new lock screen. Jada nearly passed out. Abby caught her. No, Jada, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Jada was sitting beside Malachi in his black BMW as he drove towards Sweet Scoops. The silence was deafening as Jada processed what was happening. So, you look nice, he complimented her, checking her out in the seat.
No.
She was internally screaming as she shyly replied, thank you. Malachi smirked and spoke, his eyes glued to the road. I can see you staring at me. Jada's eyes widened as she looked away. Can you blame me? The words left her mouth before she could comprehend what she had said. Malachi suddenly pulled over. Jada looked at him confused. What are you doing? Malachi turned to face her. Are you obsessed with me? Jada furrowed her brows. No. Oh, because I think you are, Malachi interrupted.
Fuck.
I'm not, she lied.
I get out of the car.
Because I'm obsessed with you, he said, staring at her. Jada's mouth hung open in shock. What? Jada, I like you. I really do. And I can't hold it in any longer, he confessed.
He hasn't held it in for more than 2 days.
The vulnerability vivid in his voice. Jada was in shock. Her mouth hung open as her eyes stayed on his. What the fuck was happening? Do you not? Oh my god, I'm so sorry, he panicked. Malachi, I have pictures of you saved on my phone. You're literally my husband. Of course, I feel the same way.
Oh my god, Abby, no.
A soft smile grew on Malachi's face as he heard her words. He quickly leaned in and his soft lips connected with hers, and it was like they didn't exist.
What?
Jada froze, but after a moment gave in to the feeling she had been dreaming about since she had first laid eyes on him. I love you, Malachi said with a soft smile on his face. Okay, let's go get those milkshakes I promised you. They turned back in their seats with smiles brightening their faces as they drove off, happier than they have ever been before. The end.
I mean, it was really good, but I just wanted to kill myself because why?
Why.
My story doesn't have a name and it's not complete, but you'll get the vibe. Okay. Flashback. Abby, trust me, it's a good opportunity, Mrs. said, looking at Abby, who was curled up in the corner next to the window, blew blinds down, creating an eerie atmosphere in the near empty room. Desks were lined up around every corner of the room, a computer neatly placed on each one, but Abby's screen was slowly turning black with every second that she passed, where she was zoning out, staring at her hands fiddling beneath the desk. I can't read, guys.
That is so real though.
Exactly. Abby, I wouldn't do anything that wouldn't benefit you, he says, again trying to get something out of her, but she remains silent. Yeah, Abby, I go to that school too on the weekends. It's a great opportunity. Jada butted in as she packed away her flute. She continued, it's fun. There's a whole vocal class that you can choose as a sub-elective. And it's not too far. We could even travel there together, Jada continued. Okay, Abby speaks fed up. Okay, I'll join, okay? She looks up directly at the two. You start on Saturday, Mrs. Miles.
Saturday?
Celebration.
Why am I starting on Saturday?
Present day. Jada and Abby walked through the wide hallways together. It was their break. Jada and Abby both chose instruments for their main course. Abby takes...
I am feeling like I want to die and that this is complete torture and I don't know what I did to somebody to make me sit here and do this.
The bell rung for period 3 and they had to split up to go to their first sub-elective of the new term. Abby waved goodbye to Jada and they took her right into her classroom, sitting down in the almost empty room. Slowly the classroom started filling and people were sitting in every seat. The teacher began speaking, and Mr.
Oh no! Oh my
Your
God.
new vocal and acting teacher. Your first assignment is to pair up in a group of 4 and create a short melody describing your first impression of a classmate which you're paired with.
Oh, that's 100% something to do.
Exactly. Firstly, grouping will be completely randomized and this cannot be changed under any circumstance. Secondly, each group must meet up at least 4 times before the deadline in 2 weeks to create the melody and then present it to the class afterwards. Let's start grouping now. Abby looks around the classroom wondering who she will be paired with, as she knows no one at all and is slightly nervous as Jada is in a different class. She gets paired with 3 others whose names she's unfamiliar with, but she knows that her melody will be based around the only boy in the group. He wears glasses, has a small beard and dark hair. He's kind of cute. The first project meeting is on Monday.
I'm already smiling.
Monday. The library was the go-to meet-up spot for group projects. It had the right lighting, just enough space and the right vibe. The meeting time was 9 a.m. Abby got there at 9 on the dot and sat down in a small meeting corner. It was very cozy. Slowly, the other 3 showed up and began introducing themselves. I'm Sway. One girl introduced herself.
Oh my god.
I'm Freya. The other
no!
But Abby didn't care about any of the other girls in the group. Her eyes were focused on the boy. He was captivating and his skin was almost glowing.
Wait, is he fucking Edward from Twilight? Why is he glowing?
She couldn't take her eyes off of him. Of course, he had to introduce himself last. The suspense was building. Abby's heart hitched. What? Abby's breath hitched as he introduced himself. I'm Milo. And she smiled lightly before introducing herself briefly. Sway continued. I'm pretty sure that Abby's paired with Milo and Freya and I are a pair, so we need to write a melody which describes how we feel.
Of course I'm paired with fucking Milo.
When we first saw each other, right? Yeah, they gave us some options of chord patterns to use as a foundation, she says before playing the chord patterns available. Milo finally speaks after being silent. We should split into our pairs, Milo speaks, and gently grabs Abby's arm, leading her away without further words. Abby is entranced and follows Milo without question. She's pulled into a small silent study room for individuals and they sit down opposite each other. The session was meant to be 30 minutes of notes, words scribbled down and roughly based on your first impression. However, Abby found her hand moving constantly, scribbling down so many words.
Blah, blah, blah. Proper name, place name, backstory stuff.
Well, Milo really took his time.
I would never do this.
I know. Well, Milo took his time mostly staring at Abby, like really staring, taking in her every feature, her every movement, scribbling down small amounts every minute or 2. The air felt odd. It felt full, like it was swallowing Abby up, choking her slowly. It needed to be full up. Someone had to break the ice, right? No many people here, Milo speaks. Abby turns a light shade of red as she shakes her head. No, I just have one friend, but she's not in this class. She replies, softly gesturing to Milo for a response. Well, at least now you have me, and I think I want to be more than friends.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. That was our stories, but now it's time to go find some more somewhere.
Guys, Abby's story made me want to get sweet scoops. So now we're going to sweet scoops.
Yeah, we'll
To
be
get
back to
it.
the Jiffy.
1 second. We're back, guys. I drank so much of my milkshake, and I went thrifting as well. We found some imagines we're gonna read. First, we're gonna start with Milo. Abby.
Oh, please don't use my
I'm
name.
using your name. Is he fine or is it? It's like that fine or something?
No.
Okay. Join Abby, come join us. I heard Milo yell. I ignored it and continued to walk to my trailer. What's her problem? I heard someone say. I ignored it and just entered my trailer, slamming the door slightly. I quickly dumped my stuff on the floor. Would you like to explain to me what is going on? Milo asked. I flipped the blanket off of my face. I just had a really bad day, but I'm fine. Go back out to the rest of the cast, I said to him. Milo smiled at me sympathetically before walking towards me and climbing onto the bed underneath the blanket. Baby, I'm not gonna get back out there. I'm gonna stay here with you because when you're upset, my world stops to be there for you.
Is that the end?
Yeah.
What was that? That was a horrible. Let me get one, bro. We're now gonna read a Malachi one, which I found. Jada and Malachi get caught making out.
What?
You want the rest?
No. You want the rest? Look at what you said. Jada and Malachi are going to the premiere for Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires. You didn't think walking a red carpet would feel this surreal. Bright lights flashing in every direction, fans cheering from behind velvet ropes, and your name being called by photographers like you were some kind of celebrity yourself. But the only thing grounding you through it all was Malachi. He had his hand in yours.
Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction.
And despite the chaos all around you, he leaned over and whispered, "You look unreal right now." You gave him a half-nervous smile. "Do I look like I'm about to fall flat on my face?" He chuckled, only a little, but like in a cute way. You nudged him playfully with your shoulder and he grinned, that warm, boyish grin that made your heart skip every time. His other hand rested on the small of your back as a photographer yelled, "Malachi, over here and bring your date." You froze for a second, but Malachi didn't. He stepped right up to the camera, still holding your hand, and pulled you close with absolute confidence, whispering, "I've got you. Flash, flash, flash." He wrapped his arm around your waist and looked down at you like you were the star of the movie. You could practically hear the fans behind the ropes squealing. Someone shouted, "You guys are adorable."
One eternity later.
You wrapped your arms around his neck and kissed him, right there in the middle of the aisle. When you pulled back, you whispered, "5 stars, golden performance, certified heartthrob." He laughed and kissed you again, this time slower. That's all I needed to hear. The end. Your turn.
Okay, next one. The first time you saw Vargas, he was leaning casually against the stone wall near the old vampire ruins, smirking, arms crossed, moonlight catching the silver in his earrings. His eyes were already on you. I was told you were dangerous. I gotta say, you look more like trouble. You blinked, not sure if you were more irritated or intrigued. Depends who's asking. He pushed off the wall with a why I say lacy and not lazy?
Lacy.
With a lazy grace and walked towards you. Vargas, rebel heart, vampire elite, part-time flirt.
Part-time? Who introduces themselves like that? No.
Part-time, you asked, raising her brow. He grinned, only when someone really catches my attention. You rolled your eyes, but your heart beat just a little faster. Vargas had arrived in Seabrook with the rest of the vampires after the Moonstone's power began to fade. Where most were focused on the legacy of tradition, Vargas seemed different. He followed the rules when it suited him, but mostly he made his own. He flirted shamelessly, fought fiercely, and didn't seem to care what anyone thought, especially not the council. You, on the other hand, had every reason to be cautious. A day walker, one with both sunlight in your veins and shadows in your blood. You didn't fully belong anywhere. Not among the humans, not entirely among the vampires. That made you powerful, but it also made you a threat. Still, Vargas never looked at you like you were other. He looked at you like you were interesting. Vargas found you sitting alone on the edge of a cliff behind the orchard.
Why am I sitting on the edge? Am I gonna jump off?
"You always sit up here like you're in a brooding vampire movie," he said, taking a seat beside you. "Helps me think," you replied. He nudged you gently. "Thinking's overrated. You ever tried just living?" You gave him a sideways glance. "You really say stuff like that out loud, huh?" He smirked. "I only say it when I'm trying to get someone to smile." Despite yourself, you did. There was a moment of quiet, just the wind and the sound of distant voices. Then softly he asked, "Does it get tiring feeling like you don't fit anywhere?" You looked at him, surprised by the shift in tone. "Yeah, all the time." Vargas didn't tease you, he just nodded. "Same." You tilted your head. You seem like you fit everywhere." "Nah," he said, leaning back on his hands. Shall I use Australian accent?
Go on then.
"I just pretend really well. You learn to charm
What?
people before
That
you
is
can
so
good. "I just pretend really well. You learn to charm people before they can figure out how to hurt you." You stared at him for a beat longer. "That's kind of sad." He laughed lightly. "It's also kind of true." Then his eyes met yours again, deeper now. "But with you, I feel like I don't have to pretend." Your breath caught. The teasing was gone from your voice, but the warmth wasn't. Slowly, carefully, he reached up and brushed a strand of hair behind your ear.
Oh no.
"You really are dangerous, you know." "Why is that?" you asked softly. "Because I wasn't supposed to like anyone here, and when you showed up, half light, half dark, and now I can't stop thinking about you." You didn't answer with words. Instead, you kissed him. It wasn't a dramatic, cinematic moment. It was quiet, slow, and full of unspoken things, of edges softening, of masks slipping away. His lips were cool but gentle. When you finally pulled away, he exhaled like he'd been holding his breath. "Okay," he said, smiling again, but this time less flirty, more real. "That was wow." You laughed, a little breathless. "Yeah, wow." You paused, you listened, you nodded. "I've been running from real things my whole life, not this time." In the days that followed, Vargas was still Vargas, flirty, quick-tongued, effortlessly cool.
What does that mean?
A few moments later.
Sneaky snacks during important meetings. And I look at you like such a secret.
Wow.
What? Guys, too many things just happened. Australian accent unlocked.
Sis, when did you know how to do that?
For ages.
Say portable nights.
Portable night.
Portable night.
You're better than me though.